Greetings! Today is July 6, 2023. And we're back with another video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Neca. And this is the Utrom villain in the comic book series. Now, back when this came out, you had a lot of Terminator sci-fi 90s movies. And I remember seeing this in the comic books at that time. I was pretty amazed by how the cyborg, look for a lot of entertainment. You can see it in anime, you can see it in cartoons. Ever since Terminator came out, I think every genre wanted some sort of variation of the original Terminator from the movies. And this is pretty much a take on it. But what's cool about it is they actually include a little alien inside his stomach. So when you first see this particular guy, you actually see this little alien right here that sits in his stomach, which was very, very ghastly back then. I mean, looking at it, the box and everything, you can actually see the illustration of it. It's actually came out pretty good, the paint apps and everything, but we're going to crack this open and check it out. Now, take a look at his accessories and everything he comes with. Utrom comes with 2 sets of fist closed hands and two sets of open hands. I do have the other open hands on here, and this pretty much so that way he can use his gun that he comes with. It's a cool little gun accessory. The paint apps, everything on it looks pretty detailed in design. The attention to detail that Neca actually paid to for this particular figure is really unique. I mean, they spent no expense in making sure that they get all of the paint apps and detail and design for his blaster gun that he comes with. As far as everything else, he comes with this little, I would say it's a sippy cup. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like something that the Utrom alien that sits in his stomach would actually drink from, I guess when he gets dehydrated or thirsty or whatever. And then looking over at the figure, you can actually see that they put a lot of detail and design in it. Has a little bit of shadowing right here, as you can see. When we flip it over to the back, you can actually see all the gears and everything that, is particularly in this figure. I actually like how this came out. In the beginning, I actually seen this in the stores first, but I wanted to wait until I got the actual Brothers 4-pack before I actually jumped into the Mirage comic book line. But I'm kind of happy I did, because as far as the foot soldiers came out good. Comes with many accessories, and so did this Utrom here. Taking a look at this little guy in here, if you take him out, you can actually see that they really designed him pretty well. Like, the attention to detail as far as his sunken in eyes and everything looks like it jumped right out of the comic book, and his underbelly and everything. But yeah, and as you see, if you're familiar with the cartoon, this is exactly what they ride in. They ride in these mechanisms, and there's a lot of room and space in there to actually, house them in. But yeah, Neca, the attention to detail on how they design this is pretty unique. And I gotta say, as far as like when he's not in there, the articulation is still there, so it really doesn't hinder him when he's inside there. So you can still get, all the articulation of the upper body. He has only single jointed elbows, but they go to a pretty good degree as far as posing and everything. His arms only go out to about here though. So, keeping up with the unique robot design, yeah, with these sharp edges, you're not going to really get a lot of clearance going up there like that. But overall, he can still get into some pretty cool poses. His head sculpt, as you can see, like I said, the design and detail, they actually look like they glow out of his eye sockets, which is pretty amazing when you really look at it. I'm really amazed by this particular figure. Like I said, when I seen this on the shelf, I wanted to get the Turtles first, but then after I, got the Turtles and I picked this guy up, he actually came out pretty good. As far as his knees, he got only single jointed knees. As far as his rotation at the ankle, you can actually get a good pose out of those ankles. As far as goes back, goes forward, But overall, I think Neca did a very good job with this, with this Utrom android body. As far as his tools, it seems like these tools are for the Utrons. Like, I guess these are like little mechanisms that they would work on anytime they have to tune up the walking robot that they ride in. But, you know, as far as detail, you know, Neca really did go all out as far as paying attention to much detail that is actually in the classic comics that are from the 90s. But it's, you know, like I said, then he comes with a little busted head here, which is also pretty cool. And his eyes still have that design where they look like they're actually glowing. So like you could stand this on your shelf, man, and it actually looks pretty good. His eye socket is all thrown out of place and everything. He's got a whack in his head, battle damaged and everything. So it's pretty cool to see that they did give us 2 head sculpts. Price for this guy is pretty much the same price as the foot soldiers. So you're going to be paying about $34.99 for this. But I've actually found this in Best Buy, because Best Buy had a bunch of them in there. So I picked up a few. Picked up like maybe 3. Probably want to get another one, because I do want to have a good sizable army to go with the Ninja Turtles as far as the takeover of Manhattan. As far as the Triceratons, I only got 1 of him, but I'm probably going to review him later. But for this particular guy, Utrom, android body, I got to say that Neca did a very good job with this. You know, I mean, we're never really surprised when we collect Neca products, because, you know, when they even made the Terminator figures, you know, the attention to detail to the Terminator figures was good. So we automatically should have known that they were going to knock it out the park as far as giving us the android body, which they did. They did give us the Krang android body in the past, and that figure still holds up pretty good. You can still put the little Utrom Krang in the middle and everything. But with this one is more stylized to actually represent the comics, and I gotta say, they did a really good job with this particular figure. I mean, just the attention to detail and everything, the gears and everything. And usually, you know, when I collect these, I usually like to look for the, you know, science fiction aesthetic as far as action figures. It's not just this line, it's just every line. Anytime you give me a droid or a robot, I'm probably gonna find a display to fit him in. So like, even with this guy, he can probably go into your Marvel Legends, you know, displays. He can go into your, you know, your DC displays. This guy can go into any display, minus the Utrom. But you can obviously have him just sitting there thrown to the back somewhere, just laying up against the wall like a, you know, used cyborg, used robot. A lot of futuristic settings that I see designers make as far as dioramas and everything, he can fit right in pretty well. But overall, the paint detail and everything, like, I'm truly impressed with what Neca did. I mean, even his underbelly right here, you can actually see all of this is sculpted in. This isn't just painted. They really sculpted all of those designs and all of those, you know, bells and whistles as far as the wiring and everything, the gears and everything. Like, when you have this in hand, when you really up close looking at it, you can actually see that, yo, this is like some truly work of art right here, man. Like, they really went all out to give you all the gears and everything that us, you know, if you grew up in the 90s like I did, you know that having these type of figures, it just screams 90s science fiction. And, you know, in a way, this looks like something that jumped out of a painting. Something that jumped out of something that you've seen in like science fiction magazines in the 90s. This is a really good design figure from Neca. So this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Utrom Neca action figure. Now, before I wrap this up, here's a quick size comparison of how the Utrom android bodies stand next to a G.I. Joe and a McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman. And here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America and a Fortnite figure. Now, I don't know if people collect these, but I'm just going to just put her in here just so that you can actually see the size comparison of them all. But, yeah. And here he is standing next to a Masters of the Universe. I think it's the Masterverse line. This is not the classics. This is the Masterverse line. And him standing also next to the Ronin NECA. NECA Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that we got recently, which we are getting more of these, and I can't wait to get them because there are enemies in this particular series that looks 10 times sick than this guy. But overall, I still like this guy. But those other android body robots that's coming out, I don't know if what we would call them, android or cyborg ninjas, but check them out when you get a chance. And that's my review of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's comic version, Utrom. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you're gonna pick these up, because I'm gonna tell you something. Like this particular line, I gotta say, has gotten real good reviews as far as articulation and as far as art and style. And if NECA continues going down the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage Comics, Turtles, I'm definitely interested to see which other ones they create. I also know that there was like a fan art or something of Slash. Maybe there's a different variation of Slash, the Mutant Turtle Slash. I want to see what that one looked like. As far as I know, we got the cartoon one, and I know we got the comic adventures one. I know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Adventures version. But I'm waiting to see if they're going to give us a Slash, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Slash from the Eastman comics. But that's my video. Rate, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. And I'll catch you in a video in the future. Peace.